Kenny Knight, a great, beautiful man of God. I first met Kenny Knight in 1992 when I went to Paris, Illinois to pastor First Assembly of God. Kenny was one of the very first ministers to befriend me. And one afternoon when he invited me and my wife to go with him and Kathy to the country club to have lunch, he began to share his heart and his life with me at that time. It was afterwards that we would meet occasionally for prayer and breakfast, or coffee rather, but it was not until 2010 when outpouring broke out at Cross Tabernacle that I came to really know Kenny, but more importantly, we became one. I say that because during the outpouring, he would sit in the front pew and I'd sit across the aisle in the other front pew. And we became very sensitive as to what was going on. And we knew that things were not right. Both of us would go into intercessory prayer, binding the powers of hell that would try to interfere with what God was doing. And it was once we felt a release that we were okay and we'd get back with the rest of the service. But what really amazed me was when the anointing would come on Kenny. Sometimes it was funny because Kenny could hardly see where he was because the anointing was so great. And he'd often ask, "Where are the people?" And we tell him, "Kenny, they're right in front of you." We had to grab his hand and put it on people. But when he touched them, God healed them. I began to understand how close this man was with God and the relationship that he had. He was the true warrior of the cross of Jesus Christ. With joy that we had with going to him, with him and Kathy and all the others to Ireland and to the Philippines. And life might have slowed him down a bit, but it didn't slow down the anointing that was in him. God constantly used him. There's so much to say about Kenny. His anointing, his love, his compassion, the pastor he was, the apostle he was, prophet of God. But there's something, a poem that I wrote that I would like to just dedicate to Kenny right now. It's entitled, "A Warrior Has Come Home." And it goes as follows. Listen with your hearts this day. Hear the trumpet sounding. Hear the excitement of heaven, for a warrior has come home. Sound the trumpet. Assemble the host of heaven. Bring forth the musicians. Make ready for celebration. Call for the redeemed of every tribe and tongue. A warrior is coming home. His battles are all won. Behold, he comes even now. He's not limping, defeated, or worn. He walks head held high, clad in the armor of light. He's the anointed of the Lord. He met the enemy on earth's battlefields, and in the trenches of trials, he did not yield. He did not surrender, though at times he would fall, but he learned out of love to give his Lord his all. And with the tenacity of a lion, he would lift up his head, never denying that the power within was greater by far than that of his enemy, the father of liars. And with this knowledge embedded in his heart, he would fight with a fervor that flowed from his heart. As in agony and deep travail, he would cry, "More souls for the kingdom before I die. More souls to present to the King of Kings. More souls to lay at his feet." Oh, within my heart arises a prayer that I, a warrior, as thy servant might be, and that I too would go and win the lost and give as this warrior, no matter the cost. Of this one thing I shall not forget. To this anointed of God, we owe a debt. He gave his all to pave the way for us, to bring the hurting and lost to the cross. Oh, may I prove to be as true and win as he has won for you. That when my battles are all won, heaven's hosts will assemble and with joy proclaim the news. Sound the trumpets, bring forth the musicians, make ready for celebration. A warrior has come home. Enjoy yourself, Kenny, but save a place for me at the table.